Well, hey everybody, it is me, El Topo. Let's talk about a movie, shall we? That's why you clicked on the little play button, didn't you? I just got back from seeing James Cameron's $500 million epic, Avatar. The Last Night Elf Airbender guy. Avatar. Let me get my thoughts out of the way. I have a lot of thoughts on this movie, so I'm going to try to contain them in a 10-minute clip here. Hopefully under 10 minutes. Avatar is about space marines that are going to a planet called Pandora because they're mining something called, get this, unobtainium. Is that, like, couldn't they do anything better than that? Unobtainium is worth a lot of money. Now, the problem is, to harvest this unobtainium, they have to get past the native people, the Na'vi, who are like space Indians. They're in touch with the environment. They love their Earth. They love their, well, not their Earth. They love their planet. They love the animals, all the spirits, and all that nonsense. So what they do is, the Marines there develop a technology where they can go into Na'vi bodies that they grow, essentially, and these are avatars. So the Space Marine goes to sleep, pops up in the Space Indian body, bingo bango, there's your plot. Where do I begin with this movie? First off, visually, one of the most impressive movies I've ever seen. I saw it in IMAX 3D, and it's incredible. Visually, amazing. Like nothing I've ever seen before. I can't tell you that the visuals aren't good, because they are amazing. It's single-handedly one of the most impressive looking movies I've ever seen. It's a big step forward as far as technology goes. And the thing that is most impressive, in my opinion, is the 3D is done with a lot of subtlety. It's not the 3D movies of the past where everything's like this, you know, or the guy, the protagonist, like, breaks the fourth wall and is like, what do you think? You know, it's a lot of kind of ambient things, like falling embers and stuff that looks like it's kind of engulfing you, and things like explosions kind of coming at you, and very, very good. Sound design, character design, like the Na'vi, the ship design, the set design, top notch. Sound design is amazing. It's a very high quality movie. Now, when does the crappiness start? It starts in the plot. Now, I know a lot of people have said this, and this is the biggest argument I heard. Well, no story is something that you haven't heard before. There's no such thing as an original idea. Now, this is true. The problem is, in my opinion, Avatar's script and its storyline is so cookie cutter, it really drags the movie along, in my opinion. I gotta stop saying that. Of course it's my opinion. It's my fucking video. The Space Marine that becomes the Na'vi, his whole indoctrination into the tribe, it feels like it takes forever. This is a very long movie. It's almost, I believe it's over 3 hours long. And in my opinion, you really feel it. I said my opinion again. I can't help it. Sorry. Force of habit. The movie just drags. And the problem with a movie like this is that the story's so cookie cutter, you know exactly what's going to happen, so it trying to build on its characters and its plot line is kind of a fault, because you know what's going to happen in the end. You know, and the other problem I had with the plot is that it's transparently like a liberal, like, anti-war movie, which is fine. Nobody likes war, I get that. But I mean, they just hit you over the fucking head with it. It's like the peaceful indigenous people and then the evil white people that want to kill their Earth. There's some really, really cheesy lines in this movie that this should have been edited out. At one point, the scientists are describing what the Marines are going to do to the planet, and they call it a shock and awe campaign. Like, fuck you, we get it. It's just like Iraq. I understand. I'm not a fucking 3-year-old. And then there's a line where, of course, the Space Marine that becomes the Space Indian, you know, he ends up defending the Space Indians because he falls in love with them, and da-da-da-da-da. And there's a line he's like, my planets, they've destroyed my planet, and they'll do the same to yours. Like, that's their way. And it's just like I get it. I understand. Like, evil white people you know, steal from the land, and technology's a bad thing, and da-da-da-da-da, and go eat at McDonald's, right? That's what Avatar wants. Everything's, like, terrible about, you know, capitalism and this and that. That's the whole point of the movie, is capitalism's a horrible thing that causes people to do horrible things. But go make sure to get your Avatar toys at McDonald's. But I don't know. I just felt that its kind of pseudo-political message was really lame, and it just pounded you over the head. And that, coupled with a storyline that it just felt like you were going this over and over and over again. I mean, this is Dances with Wolves. I mean, it's got Braveheart in it, and I just didn't find it compelling. I found it kind of boring. Now, the action sequences, when they happen, like the last half hour of the movie is amazing. When you got ships flying everywhere, you got frickin' dragon things fighting, you got mech suits fighting. That part's really cool, but it takes too long to get to that point. And honestly, I'll say this. This is my final thought on Avatar, because I think I'm coming on 8 minutes. Avatar, an amazing looking film. This is a great tech demo, is what I'll say about Avatar. As far as visuals go, and production value, 10 plus. Amazing. Maybe one of the best, like I said, the best looking films I've ever seen in my entire life. Storyline, terrible. Boring. And it wasn't anybody in the movie's fault. All the actors are well played, or they did a good job playing their roles. The direction's fine, albeit kind of stale at parts. But it's just the script and the plot is just so boring. There's not much you can do within it, and I didn't like it. I'm not going to say that Avatar is a bad movie, because it is a good movie, but it's certainly not a great movie, and it's certainly something I'll never watch again. So that's my take on Avatar. Love it or hate it, it looks amazing, but there's not much under the hood, in my opinion. So it's kind of like my old Nissan Sentra. What? Good night, everybody.